Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to Mythgard in Middle-earth. I'm Corey Olson, the Tolkien Professor, joining you with my newly well-appointed friend here, Grifflet, who has sporting his awesome new Raven cloak, which I'm such a big fan of. As we come back to join Grifflet to carry on now he's now returned from his little side trip that he was taken off onto by his friends, the Girls of Middle-earth, last time during the special webathon session, in which he did get to meet Haldir, but he was just on the point of meeting Rumil and Orifin before he got so pleasantly interrupted. So now, freshly clothed and ready for more adventure, he's gonna go try to find some elf brothers. I think I'm not gonna bring Celeborn's letter to Hrolfur just now. So let's just focus on Orifin and Rumil here. Okay. So as you remember, he was set a whole bunch of tasks around here, but as Grifflet has been exploring a little bit, and he's pretty sure that none of the other tasks he was assigned here in the Dimrill Dale are going to involve obelisks with long beards carved into them. At that point, his interest kind of waned in some of those. Also, when I saw how confidently Grifflet was carving his way through orange mobs last time, I stopped getting so worried about being under level. So he's just going to carry on and see how he does. So it is, of course, nighttime again, as we're by the mirror. So we're once again seeing stars much more mundanely mirrored in the mirror here, which is kind of a shame. But anyway, still, Grifflet still enjoys looking in the mirror, which is why we found him there again. All right. Cool. So, very good. So we could any lore questions that you guys have, I'd be happy to answer those. I've got a couple, I think, saved up from before, but let me see. Where am I? Here I'm not even looking at where I'm going. Yeah, that's what I was afraid I was going to end up, which is being attacked if I just kept running without looking, but I'll keep risking it anyway. Okay. Oh, did I ever get to... I don't think I did. Really interesting question from Rivers. I got it on Twitter, from the Twitter feed of River Spirit Films, and they were rereading the appendices to The Lord of the Rings, and they were saying that it occurs to them that Denethor's suicide is sort of an attempt to emulate Aragorn's decision to die, which I thought was a really interesting point. That is so basically kind of thinking about the parallel between Denethor's choice of his own death and Aragorn's choice of his own death. And of course, I don't think there's literal emulation there. For one, for the very good reason that Aragorn isn't going to die yet for quite some time, and Denethor's never met him, so he can't be trying to imitate him explicitly, right? However, the real question is, how similar is it, right? It's a great observation to kind of put the two of them side by side. Denethor is very wrong to do what he does, and Aragorn, we understand, is very right to do what he does. So how does that work, right? What's the difference ultimately between the death of Denethor's choice and Aragorn's choice? Wonderful questions, but I don't want to keep Rumil waiting. So, oh yeah, see, here's Rumil, looking north, right? Bow sort of at the ready. At the kind of close to ready. Hey, Rumil, there's an orc. Look, here he is. You better shoot. What are you waiting for, Rumil? What are you looking for? There's an orc right there. That's okay. That's fine. You're just hoping that I'm going to take it out for you, right, Rumil? Sorry, I'm just looking at Rumil's clothing. Where have I seen that design before? That pattern, that like pointy arch pattern. I'm thinking of the pointy arches in Moria, which are quite different. Yeah, okay. That's it. You know the arches in Moria that look like a big old letter M? sort of, like 3-pointed letter M. Anyway, okay. You got the sort of leafy patterns at wrists and shoulders. Kind of like it, Rumil. Looking good. Nice little booties, too. Yeah, like your little blue shoes. That's cute. That's adorable, Rumil. Okay, so hey, Rumil. I met Haldir. Rumil bows his head to you and points into the distance, away from the eaves of Lorien. As of course, Rumil and Orifin don't speak common, right? Haldir speaks the common speech, but they do not. I've heard rumors. Is it true? I've never been here. I only have one elf character, and he's never been here. He's my elf character is my lore master, who is on he's on completionist duty, but he's on the completionist duty west of the mountains. So he did Eregion and then Enidwythe, and he's now doing Dunland. So I'm going down that way over here. He's never been over to this side of the mountains. So anyway, is it true that if you have an elf character, your elf character, like Rumil speaks, or Rumo or Orifin, one of them, actually speak to you because you understand their language? If so, that's kind of cool, and I approve. But I only have heard rumors about that. Okay. So he bows his head and points, right, pulls out the semaphore flags, then he shrugs and puts a hand on his bow. He may not speak the common tongue, but his message is clear. For the moment, his boast is quiet. The orc threat is gone for the time being. So like charades with Rumil is not a thing that I can do. That's kind of too bad. But let's find Orifin. Sorry, remember, really, that's another one of those things which sort of seems like Orifin is where I would naturally want to put the to lay the stress there, right? But we're told that normally the stress lies on the second to last syllable. So Orofin, probably not Orofin. There he is. Sorry, I'm just looking around. So, okay, so this is just a little. This is right there. The Nimrodel comes down. I don't know what this is. Yeah. Right, this is the Celebrant coming down from the Mirror, meeting with the Anduin. There's the Hive right there. Anyway, okay. But there are rivers in both directions that we have to cross. So they're right to bring in a river down here. I just don't remember which one it is. Okay. All right, so here we are. So that's Lothlorien proper over there, which we were kind of technically in over here, but we weren't really in the central part, the ninth of Lothlorien. We were over here on the outskirts before with Haldir's Flat. But that's Lothlorien proper in there. Cool. Hey, Orofin. You know, the PH combination is kind of unusual in Tolkien's languages. Huh. Anyway, whose banners? Oh, skirmish camp banners. Okay, all right. For a second, I thought that was an encampment over there, and then I was like, oh, wait, there is. Okay, Irk. All right. Uh-oh. There's Irk. Where are they? There they are. Wow, that's a bit of a tall order. This is kind of when I could long for an AoE effect, really. Do burglars ever get AoE effects? Because that would be kind of nice to have an AoE effect. How you doing, Orphan? Not so good at keeping people alive, so I hope you can take care of yourself more or less. Okay. Phew. Good. Yeah, that range didn't hold out too long there, did it? Okay. All right. Orphan still... Oh, phew. Okay. Boy, how guilty would I have felt if I'd let one of the characters of The Lord of the Rings die, right? Oh my goodness. That'd be awful. All right, no problem. I should go talk to Haldir. I noticed that you said Haldir, so I assume that means I should go. All right, I'll do that, Orphan. Darn it. Okay. All right. Okay. Oh, it's confirmation. If you're an elf, you do get the elf version. Okay. Cool. Oh, so here's the elf version. I get the text here. All right. It's Rumil smiles at you and then speaks in Elvish. Welcome, my friend. I understand you are to help me with the watch, but everything seems to be quiet. Orcs have wisely, it seems to me, chosen not to come here and test my prowess. A pity. I thank you for the offer of offer to help, but I do not have need of it for now. Well, so Rumil's all feisty, right, when he actually speaks, right? Okay, that's interesting. He didn't really convey that so well by pantomime, but that's cool. I assume that they just translate Orofin's words? Does he say Orofin? Darn it! Does he say this? He says the same thing. Does he? Just you can see that they put it in English translation. Yeah. Okay, let's see. Hey, keep your pants on, Forest Buck. I'm not here to fight. Okay, I'm just here to talk to Haldir. Haldir. Not sure what I make of the Lothlorien sentinels wearing masks. I mean, they're cool masks. Just not sure they would do it, or why they would do it if they did do it. All right, Haldir, whose outfit matches your brother's. Did your mom dress you similarly this morning? Is that what actually happened here?
You have my thanks.
Excellent. I always like to have the gratitude of Lord of the Rings characters. Thank you for helping my brothers and for safeguarding the eaves of Lorien. The Lady Galadriel has sent word to me concerning your petition and the fate of the dwarves. Oh, goody! You'll relay to me her messages after this short word from our sponsor.
We do not allow outsiders into the Golden Wood.
Right. Okay. Short time before I arrived, an even stranger company came to Lorien, blindfolded. Were they really? They were brought to Cairn Amroth, for in no way would we endanger the safety of our land. That's right. You gotta blindfold those packs of ill-sorted strangers. Sad tidings they brought with them in grief, oh dear. Now, we've not learned about this. We don't know anything about grief yet, right? We saw in Moria no evidence about grief. Haldir pauses and then goes on. The Lady Galadriel sent a small party of elves into Moria following the tidings this company brought with them. She says if you wish to save the dwarves, you will render your aid unto those elves, for their task in Moria is very important. They have made a small camp in Gwathrendath, the shadowed refuge among the foundations of stone. The lady says that an evil greater by far than the orc presence lies beneath the foundations of stone and must be faced if your dwarves are to be saved. Okay, so we've got to confront the evil presence in the foundation of stone. That's her message. Okay. Well, far be it from me to second guess the Lady Galadriel. Oh, right, you keep wanting to give me book 9 in case I'm keen on skipping things, which I'm never keen on skipping things, so let's not do that. There's the ladder, Grifflet. Just go right... Oh, wow. All the way from there, huh? Okay, so we need to... Wait, why are we running? Why are we running? How quaint. Why would you run when you could teleport? Okay. All right. Here we come to the 21st hall. Okay. All right, Grifflet. Who's this? What happened here? Oh, legendary item level up, right? Oh, I think that's actually an important one. Yep, let's do this thing. Let's see. What do we need here? We need subtle stab damage multiplier. Okay. That sounds like it could be good. Feint attack damage? Why not? Okay. Excellent. Okay. The Shadowed Refuge. Foundations of Stone. All right, back to Moria navigation, which I've not done since the Grifflathon back in a month, October 1st. Okay, so we want to go to... How do we want to get there? We could go through the Redhorn Lodes. We could do that. What else could we do? We could go through Nudmelek. Go through the Flaming Deeps, but I really don't want to do that. I'm going to have to go down through the second hall again. Yeah, let's do that. No, there's no Stable Master down there. Yeah, that'd take longer. We'll get another chance to see the second hall again. Okay. Fine. Let's go to the Red Horde Lodes. Whenever I milestone into this place, I'm always completely disoriented. I never know which direction I'm facing. Hey there, Narfi. No, you're Toph, not Narfi. Oh, hang on a second. Narfi is right over there. Wait a second. Narfi wants to talk to me. Toph, I'll be right back. Hey, Narfi, Mr. Moria Instance Cluster. Does that mean that he is personally a cluster of Moria instances? Oh, right, from the Grand Stair.
These halls will be great once more.
Right. You've never seen such a thing as this desiccated husk of Igor from accounting, right? No, from marketing. That was the one. I've never seen such a thing, but the fire you describe in this creature's eyes is well known to me as it is to Palmar. My agent watching the forges of Khazad-dûm says he has seen the same look within the eyes of the leader there. Oh, in the forges of Khazad-dûm, which is an instance, not the other forges. Okay, I was going to like that dwarf who, like that nice dwarf who runs the forges? No, not him. Okay, got it. A little nervous there for a second. I wonder if there is something unseen happening with these orcs. Something more vile than the smell of these beasts, typically give off. Okay, maybe something unusually vile is happening. Make your way to Palmar and tell him what you found. Perhaps he can give you more insight into what this... Okay, so this is to take me into another instance that I can't do by myself, I assume. Narfi, that's fine. Okay, cool. So where am I going? Back to Toph, the Stable Master. That's where I was going before I was distracted. And... Sorry, I'm just looking at his goats. Do I want to go to the flowing water of the Great Hall? No.
These halls will be great once more.
Right. I want to go to... Yeah, no, not the Shadowed Refuge, obviously. Oh, shoot. Is it Tarak Bazan that I'm wanting to go to? Is that the place that I'm thinking of that I haven't talked to the... down in the Redhorn Lodes? Who's this? The Orc Watch. Oh, okay. I just don't have a straight direct to the Orc Watch from here. Okay. If I can't get there from here, where can I get them there from? Oh, there it is. Yeah, Orc Watch. I just don't have it yet. Okay. Fine, I'll go through Nudzelek then. Nudmelek, sorry. Excuse me, pardon me. All right. Goat up, Grifflet. Let's go. Because I believe, yes, I know that Grifflet went down through the Redhorn Lodes, But I guess, did I only go there during the instance when good old Bori and I went down there and caused some ruckus and sneaked around, and I, waved to him and all sorts of unmannerly things? Is that where I had to sneak without being stealthed and all that stuff? We ambushed the White Hand leader. I can't remember. It gets to the part of the marathon that was kind of a blur. Haha. I can safe fall on the back of a goat. I didn't really realize I could do that, but that's all right. Okay, you Moria keepers. You can't catch me. Or maybe you can, but still, I'm going to keep running away until I get to Nud Melek. I'm just thinking of your own good, Moria keepers. I don't have time to kill you just now. All right. Oh, it's that Warg Rider who's still on my tail. Briefly. Okay. Now I'm waiting to hear the ring song. There it is. Imbatu. So creepy. All right. Griffin, get back on your goat. Okay. All right. Oh, I was going to answer the question. I was going to talk about Denethor. That's what I was going to talk about. Okay, right. So Denethor and Aragorn. All right. Compare and contrast the death of Denethor and the death of Aragorn. Gandalf says to Denethor, "Authority is not given to you, Steward of Gondor, to order the hour of your own death." So is it just a question of like superior authority, right? Aragorn has the authority to do that, because when Aragorn does it, it's awesome. Everybody loves Aragorn laying down his life, right? And he argues against Arwen, who doesn't want him to go, right? So again, the question: why is it okay for Aragorn, but not okay for Denethor? What do you guys think about this? I'd be interested in the. I know there's a delay, so with the delay between what I say and when you guys hear it on the stream makes it a little bit more challenging to interact directly and kind of discuss back and forth. But let's give it a little bit of a shot. What do you think? What do you think? I would love to hear what you guys have to say about this. Where would you say the difference really lies between those two situations? Again, I've already given not exactly a hint that is a little too cute, but I don't think it's just a question of authority. It's just a question of who has more authority, right? Like kings can do that, but like regular people can't. We do know that the kings of Numenor did in fact lay down, they would abdicate when the time came, except Elros didn't, right? But anyway, other kings would abdicate when the time came to hand the scepter on to their sons. And anyway, but they would until the time came when they got all distracted by longing for immortality. They used to lay down their lives just like Aragorn did. So he's the last king of the Elder Age, and he does it just like he does it Numenorian style. Okay, Moria Guard, you're only yellow. Oh my goodness, is that not intimidating? Annoying though when you stun me, but apart from that, not impressive. So here's my preliminary question. I'll get all kind of, meta about this, right? What, how do we know the answer to this question, right? Exactly by what means can we answer such a question as this? Because, of course, it's not just about... one of the things that I have been fighting against for a long time as an English teacher is the perception that analysis of literature is all purely subjective. You know, it's just like, basically, it's just, you kind of say whatever you want to say, right? You kind of like, there can be no right or wrong answers. But, you know, I used to hear that all the time. There are no right or wrong answers in English class. Baloney, there are no right or wrong answers in English. Of course there are right and wrong answers in English class. There are some readings of texts that are good and some readings of texts that are dumb and don't work at all. You absolutely can be wrong in your analysis of a work of literature. If you say something that just doesn't hold together and doesn't make sense. So, okay. So when I say what's the difference, I don't mean like, just like, what do you feel about it or whatever. It's not a subjective kind of thing. What kind of directions do we get from the text? So how do we go about answering this? Well, the first thing we got to do is we got to look at the direct cues that the text give us about this. So for Denethor, we need to look at both what he says, like the context in which he's doing this and how he characterizes what he's doing, so that we can really see, like, what is it in fact that he's actually doing. And, you know, what exactly is this project that he's kind of undertaking here? Now, let's see, from here I want to go left, if I can. And right leads to, you know, sort of unfortunate memories. Hey, let's stealth ourselves. Why not do that? That'll lead to fewer, right? Because this will cross that river of lava. Boy, Griffith, you're really skirting the edge of that bridge. Just like you don't care. But does this only go north? Can we go around to the south? Yeah, I think we have to. Can we go all the way around there? Well, let's see. Why not? We'll wander around and talk about death while we explore new bridges and fall into new chasms into which Griffith has never fallen before. So, okay, so we need to look at the context in which in which Denethor talks about it, and we need to look at the terms on which Gandalf rebukes and rejects Denethor's action, right? Can we turn? Oh, we can't turn right up here. Oh, no, there is no way through. This is just taking us back around up to the second hall. That's no good. Is it? Okay, a little bit further. We can't, doesn't ever turn right up there. Can we, no. All right, fine. We won't do it. Okay. So with those preambles, what do you guys think? So let's look. Okay. Yeah, Sam Burke is saying how his teachers always said there's no such thing as a dumb question, and he never fully agreed with that. You're completely right, Sam. There are, in fact, such thing as stupid questions. It's never stupid to have questions, right? It's never stupid to, like, make inquiries about things, but that doesn't mean that no inquiry can possibly be stupid, because it kind of can. Is there a path that goes around this way? That's where I missed the turning. Okay, I went left instead of right. Okay, I think this will take us where we want to go. So, okay. So let's see. LOTRO. LOTRO Maven said Denethor was planning to take his son with him and not hand the rule over to him. Right. The contrast with the Númenóreans, right? You're right, LOTRO Maven. You're right, Maven. The desire to the plan to kill Faramir is kind of a dead giveaway, right? Just in case we were a little plus minus on Denethor's own determination to commit suicide, his plan to murder Faramir is unambiguously bad, right? So I think that's a really, really important context to it's a very important context to keep in mind. So okay. But let's think more then about I guess that's a super important thing. But let's think then about the actual things that are said about Denethor's death himself. Matthias says Denethor is committing suicide in despair, while Aragorn lays down his life when there is a good future ahead. Okay, so it's about the attitude. Where am I now? Okay, here. All right. It's about the attitude of like what is motivating them to kill. So motivated by despair versus not motivated by despair. I agree despair is important. And of course, Aragorn dies talking about the opposite of despair, right? He dies talking about hope. It is through hope. Yay, we're in the foundations of stone. It is through it is hope that he talks about when he's dying, right? And which is echoed so poignantly by Arwen repeating his childhood name, right? Estelle, she says, which of course means hope, as he's dying. So yeah, hope and despair is the biggest difference. Ooh, you can just take me straight to the Shadowed Refuge. Will you do that? That is super nice. Wow. Okay.
The House of Durin will live forever.
All right. Well, here we are. Look at that. Oh, look, the nasty mushrooms. Oh, yeah, I recognize those. Okay, all right. So, hope and despair. Hope and despair are a good, definitely good indicators. Another thing that I would point to as another obvious distinction between the two of them. One is doing his duty, right? That is to say, Aragorn is relinquishing his life after his job is done, right? He has done, and he emphasizes that. It's one of the first things that he talks about. He's like, we had a good run, right? We did all the things. We, our son is ready to rule. Now is like the perfect time for an orderly succession. Let's do this, right? Whereas Denethor is leaving, he's deserting his post, right? His people need him. It is at a time of crisis when he could make a difference and he still has good that he not only could theoretically do, that one could imagine he could possibly do, but that is actually in front of him, that he should be doing and is supposed to be doing, that he's actually neglecting. So the idea of I have come to the end of the task that has been set for me, and I will now, I won't try to grasp for more, right? That's Aragorn's attitude, whereas Denethor's is, I am explicitly rejecting the task that has been set for me, right? I've been made remember when Gandalf asks Denethor what he wants, right? What would you have? He says, I would have things as they were in all the days of my life, right? I want things not to change. I can't help but think, when Denethor says that, I can't help but think of the conversation, the conversation that the movie both transplanted to Moria and made famous. The conversation that Frodo and Gandalf has, where Frodo says, I wish, I had never been born, in such times. I wish I hadn't been born in such times. And Gandalf says, so do I, right? So do all who live to see such times, but that is not for them to choose, right? All that we have to choose is what to do with the time that is given to us. Denethor's answer to that question is almost the worst possible answer to that question, right? And that, I think, is another clear indication. Again, and that's what I hear when he's talking about, I would have things as they were all the days of my life. Yes, he's saying I hate change, but it's not just like, I don't want things to be different, right? It's not just that. He has been made steward at this time for a reason, right? He's been placed in this time and place. And it comes with a duty, right? It comes with a call even upon him. Denethor, and I think that's something that's easy to overlook. And again, thinking of the films, something that would be easy to take from the depiction of Denethor in the films, what I thought was the worst element of the depiction of Denethor in the films, to make him merely like arrogant and crazy and kind of foolish from the beginning, basically, of his character, and then just kind of getting worse. That's a little bit awful, right? Because Denethor, the thing that you can lose sight of if you just think of Denethor that way, Denethor was great. I mean, he's a really important figure, not just because he does important things or something, but, Gandalf emphasizes the blood of Numenor runs almost true in him, right? That at this moment, the moment when Sauron is rising again and the War of the Ring is about to happen, it just so occurs, as if by chance, that the guy who is placed by destiny, right, as the steward of Gondor, is given more resources of like more personal resources and skill and mental ability, and he could do a lot. He can do a lot. He clearly had, if he had done his job properly, he had a big role to play. What would that have looked like? I don't know. To me, if you think about it, it's one of the big what ifs about the Lord of the Rings, right? What if Denethor hadn't fallen? What would that have looked like? What might Denethor have accomplished? What could he have done? How might things have been different? How would it have worked differently for Aragorn's coming in? The war for Gondor, all these things. How might it have been different? How could it have been easier and better if Denethor hadn't made the choice that he made? Well, I shouldn't say better. Things could have been different, but they couldn't have been better. Quoting my favorite quote from Leaf by Niggle. In fact, my favorite Tolkien quote, period, really. Things could have been different, but they couldn't have been better. Anyway, Langlamel, what's going on?
At the command of Lady Galadriel,
yeah,
we stand against the evil in the depths.
That's right, okay. I would welcome you to the shadowed refuge, Grifflet, but it is not a cheerful welcome. None should wish to come to this place. We are here at the behest of Lady Galadriel. So you're here, and it's not that you resent being here, but you kind of hate it. I understand. Some terror has made its home in these caverns, and it is loathsome and evil. Oh dear.
Marzog has sent orcs into the abyss to seek allies for his master.
Okay, so there's a grim and unwholesome... This is a grim and unwholesome place. The air is heavy and stagnant and reeks of the unseen terrors that slither about in the darkness. But for the Lady Galadriel, we brave the black pit, and we will do so as we are bid until we can be of no more use here. She has sent you to us for a reason, burglar. The lady sees many things in her mirror. Perhaps she has seen what fate awaits us in the abyss. Help the elves of my company, and we will see all that may come to pass in this place. Okay, all right. I'll help people, and we'll see what happens in this loathsome, dark, grim, and unwholesome place. Let's go help elves. Hey there, Forglin.
We may have need of your help if you offer it willingly.
I do offer it willingly. Yeah, no problems. Okay, Mazog has sent many of his kind down here to the foundations of stone for some purpose. They seem to be seeking something, but we have not yet determined what that might be. It is clear at least that they are having very little success. Okay, so we don't know what they're doing, but we know they're not doing it well. Okay, these orcs are being seized by some madness of mind and body that rages within them like a fire, erupting soon onto the surface as a sickening corruption of the flesh. Oh, erupting, like in the medical sense of that word. Okay, all right, cool. All right, this illness makes them even more dangerous, though they seem to lose all reason. They are the Globsnaga now. Oh dear, they're the slaves of Glob. Snaga means slave. Defeat them wherever you find them throughout the foundations of stone, for their mindlessness makes them more cruel and merciless than before, oh dear. Cruel, merciless, irrational, fungus orcs. All right. I'll keep an eye out. So let's see. I see, now this is tricky. My first guess at this one would have been Dithalwen. But see, that's the third to last syllable. It's probably not Dithalwen. It's probably Dithaluwen? Dithaluwen? Dithaluwen. Probably. Wow. And Galirwen over here, next to her. Okay.
My words, traveler.
All right. The dwarves that seek to reclaim Moria, as foolish as they are, do not deserve the fate that Mazog's armies have chosen for them. What, namely, a painful death? But why has Mazog sent so many of his orcs here to the Foundations of Stone, when they might otherwise be used to attack the defenses of the dwarves? There is some foul purpose in it, Grifflet, and I believe Gorothul, the sorcerer from Dol Guldur, will be at the root of it all. Right, yeah, he was the bad guy, remember him? Mazog would not do this by himself. What possible reason could he have for splitting his forces? It's true, Dithaluan. It kind of seems like down here in the Foundations of Stone, the evil creatures seem to have things pretty well in hand, right? So, yeah. Why is Mazog sending his orcs down? All right, fine question. Seek out the members of the Pulpum that Mazog sent to the Foundations of Stone. They may now be Globsnaga, corrupted by the evil of this place, but it could be they still hold the orders that sent them here. Oh, we want the written orders that probably you guys can't read. Bring these to me if they exist. You will find the Pulpum especially among the tunnels near the great underground lake and on the few outcroppings that break its surface. Okay. I'll keep an eye out. All right, so I'm supposed to kill a whole bunch of Globsnaga, and I'm supposed to find the orders that were given to the Pulpum when they were sent down here by Mazog for some reason, which, if not wholly bizarre, is at least not clearly explained. Okay. All right. Ooh, you know what that looks like? That looks like the Endless Stair. And we've got a lake. That's not... Yeah. This is not the lake. It's not Gollum's lake. But we do know this looks like we have definitely found the bottom, right? Deep is the abyss spanned by Durin's bridge, and none has measured it. And yet it has a bottom, says Gandalf, and apparently this must be it, because we know that Gandalf and the Balrog fell into water. So they must be down here somewhere. All right, so where are we headed? Oh, right, I'm among the mushrooms and everything. All right. Hang on. I think I want to go the other way. Yes, I do. I want to go this way. And I was going to stealth myself, but I need to kill a whole bunch of Globsnaga, so I might as well keep an eye out. Okay. All right. Boy, it's awful quiet down here. Somebody just come through and kill everybody? I was expecting to meet resistance long before this time. All right, some orange mobs looking good. Okay. More thoughts about Denethor and Aragorn. I think we did pretty well with that one, but I think there's also kind of more to say. Let's see. Oh, yes, Matthias, I have been here before. Yeah. No, I did the completionist Moria, actually. Yeah. See, as I've explained this before, and I usually explain this when I'm on Wigand, but it bears explaining when I'm on Grifflet as well. I am occasionally, rarely discovering new things in the Grifflet stream. That's not really my goal in the Grifflet stream. Sometimes, like again, I had never done the Scepter of Illuminous thing in Rivendell with Pippin, because I'd never brought a Hobbit to that stage of the epic quest before. So that was super fun. But mostly what Grifflet is doing is a second or third or sometimes even fourth reading, basically, of these quests and these areas, because that's how I roll, right? I mean, I feel you can only really come to understand and really fully appreciate a storyline after you've read it a bunch of times, right? I mean, that's kind of my whole method, really. So see, now I want to stick, if I recall correctly, I want to stick on this side. I want to go down into all the way through the tunnels of the Globsnaga. I want to keep heading down this way. All right. So with Grifflet, I am almost always doing at least a second reading, usually later, which is so much. It's very, very helpful. There's so many things that I just don't notice the first time I experience them. It's like, when I've read a book once, far from feeling, like done with it or something like that, a troll. Not really necessary, I think. Far from feeling like, okay, I can check that, I read that, so I can check it off my list. I always feel to the contrary, like, okay, now I have some kind of a basis for being able to read it again now. And it's why, unless I dislike a book very, very much indeed, I will usually go back and read it a second time, usually not right away, not instantly. But I will go back and read it again if it's something that I want to really kind of try to wrap my brain around and understand better. Anyway, so my runs with Grifflet represent my rereading of the story and having kind of thought it through from several different angles and appreciate it in the larger context of the bigger story. So anyway, so that's what I'm doing with Grifflet. I'm rarely completely surprised with Grifflet, but I do often notice things and figure things out that I had never thought of before when I'm down here. Okay, not so many of the pulpum up this way, huh? Oh no, the pulpum I'm headed towards the pulpum, right? Vaguely? No? I remember there being some of them over down here because we're getting close to one of those instance entrances that I don't generally get a chance to go into. Spider. Who wants to fight unnecessary spiders? That's it? Aren't there any pulpum around here? Oh, there's one. Okay. The pulpum are kind of interesting because, or not the pulpum, the Globsnaga, because it's hard not to pity them, Like something horrible has happened to them and they're all wrecked and deformed and not high enough level for your quests yet. And it's hard not to pity them, and that's not usually what happens, right? Or what is meant to happen with the orcs. But it's interesting for that reason. Okay. Really? One pulpum? That's all I get? Sneak past that spider again. Okay. Okay. Sorry. I'm looking at other questions here. JJ48, you're here today, right? Did I answer your Dumbledore question? If you're here, let me know if I answered your Dumbledore question. I kind of have a vague memory that I did, but I might just be remembering thinking about it, so I can't ever really tell. Sorry, Fairvenon has a contribution on the... by all means, Fairvenon, let's go back to the Denethor discussion for a minute. Denethor makes his despairing move based on secret information that he alone has access to, a solitary illicit choice. Aragorn makes his based on public knowledge and civic realities. Yeah. That is an interesting issue, right? With the sort of and it kind of comes back, Fair Venom, to what I was saying about whether you're doing your duty or whether you're avoiding your duty, right? Whether you're being responsible or whether you're being irresponsible. That seems to kind of sort of trigger along the same lines, right? Okay. Oh, good. There are Globsnaga down here too, so let's just do that. Oh, and spiders. Let's just do spiders also. Because we can. And after this, we'll use consumables or something. Oh, and a pulpum comes in. How about that? Yeah. We're just piling on here now, people. Griffith's doing okay. 3 orange mobs. Okay, not quite at once, but in series. All right. Mr. Globsnaga pulpum. Okay. Yeah, certainly the sort of clandestine nature of Denethor's activities definitely do. What's happening? So, wow. Okay. Does he mean with the fungus, or is he talking about me, or is he talking about the fungus? That's not normally a question you want to be asking if you think about it, right? I mean, if you find a lot of occasions in your life where you ask the question, is he talking about me or is he talking about the fungus? You probably need to re-examine your life. But anyway, I'm going to go with fungus. You know, that he's suffering some sort of deleterious effect from the nasty fungus, I guess, in the hour of his death. Ooh, there's a snarling overseer over there. I wonder what the snarling overseer oversees. Exactly. Okay. Up to 10 orcs and I've got enough pulpum, right? But I still do need more. What do you call it? More Globsnaga, so. Oh, no, that's a Grodbog laborer. All right. Anyway, for Venom, sorry, I keep getting distracted. But yes, I do think that the way in which the position that Denethor puts himself, even the way in which he this is putting the kind of thing that you're observing into in sort of a really crude way for Venom, but the way in which Denethor is pushing other people away and keeping things to himself, right? And Aragorn is like drawing in other people and giving things away, shows how, certainly is an indicator of very significant difference. And this is an interesting thing that I think often happens. It's a thing that often happens when you notice things like that in Tolkien, like that kind of parallel scene where like these two things are clearly different, but they look kind of similar from a certain angle. Often when you go back and you look at them more, what you find is they begin to look like opposites of each other, in fact. All right. All right, let's see. Okay, all right. Turbine Pinion asks, what's my take on LOTRO's interpretation of the nameless things? Okay. There was a nameless thing just down the hall there, I think. Well, okay. My first reaction to the nameless things is comedy, right? I think they're funny. I think the whole thing is funny. Gandalf says, deep, deep beneath, he says, the world is gnawed by nameless things. Even Sauron knows them not. They are older than he. So, okay, that's, Gandalf doesn't sound like he's being awfully specific, when he says that. So the reason it makes me laugh, the reason my first reaction was to laugh, like the first time the deed Nameless Thing Slayer, popped up on my deed list, I laughed. I thought that was really funny. And because it seems like a slightly comical literalization of what we see in the book, right? They're nameless because they're like not, we're supposed to meet something and be like, hey, look, it's a nameless thing. I don't know. It's kind of funny. But I like the fact that they're monstrosities. I have to admit, when I always pictured them, right? What are the nameless things? I always imagine something bigger. It's the gnawing, I think, like gnawing on the world. Always gave me the impression of size. Let's go fight a nameless thing. Because I can. Let's look closely at a nameless thing and see what we think of it. But I mean, at the same time, it's hard to blame them. Turbine, I mean. Right? I mean, here they have the opportunity to, and they're always kind of grasping at any opportunity that Tolkien gives them to introduce a new creature, right? All right, hold still. You've got cloven hooves. Your legs anyway are kind of chitinous, which is an interesting choice. You've got huge goat horns and these like protruding tusk/mandible things on the bottom. You're covered with spikes on your back. You've got these double rows of spikes, which look kind of cool. You're wearing something, but I can't really tell. Like, you seem to have a loincloth, but I wonder if is there more to that? I think there's more to that. When he rears back, I can almost see his abdomen. Yay! Nameless Slayer! Okay. I might want to do this, actually. Let's make with the killing of this guy relatively efficiently, and then actually have some food. This all sounds like a plan. Oh, I'm on my penultimate Globsnaga. Alright. Have some Lembas there. Yeah. Better, Griffon. So like I said, I can't blame them for I can't blame them for grasping at the chance to introduce a new creature, but it's a little bit. It's anytime they do that kind of a mere literalization of what somebody in the book says, It's hard not to find it just a touch funny. Okay, you over there. Yes, you. You're my 18th Globsnaga, so come over here. Okay. I'm going to need to end a couple minutes early today. Not too early, but a little bit early. I gotta... Looking at my phone, it looks like some kind of school issue has arisen here, so I need to address that, it looks like, but I got a couple more minutes here. Okay, excellent. Now I can go to this handy goat over here. I am going back to the Shadowed Refuge. I got elves to talk to. Okay. Wrong way. I always forget whether the stable master's on the north or south side of that hallway. Right, we're going to head back into where the elves have hidden themselves. Galadriel spoke of this evil that lay, in the foundations of stone. Probably she's talking about the Balrog, right? Probably. Maybe not. Maybe there's something else she's talking about. That's what we have to discover for Glenn.
We may have need of your help, if you offer it willingly.
Okay. You don't know what causes the corruption that has taken hold of Mazog's orcs and made them fierce and mindless Globsnaga, but it is enough for the moment to know that their numbers are fewer. Oh, okay. All right. Yep. Well, that is a simple answer to the problem.
Elbereth will avenge me.
Okay. It's difficult to learn much from these orders, because you probably don't read the Black Speech either, as I said. But this you can discern. Mazog is seeking to enslave some of the nameless horrors beneath Moria. Oh boy, that's creative. Why he wishes to do this remains unknown to me, for he does not need nameless allies to crush the dwarves. They are near enough to destruction as it is. No, he must have some other target. I fear it may be the Golden Wood, home to my Lord Celeborn and Lady Galadriel. Mazog does not have the foresight for such a plan. This must come from Gorothul of Dol Guldur. So, okay. He's training up nameless things that live in the bowels of the earth and he's going to use them to overthrow the Golden Wood? Okay. Maybe. That seems possible. A little unlikely, but, dark things have crawled from underground. I mean, the first time a dragon, the first time Glaurung came out, it looked kind of like that. So, okay. All right, now I got to go back to talk to elf number 1.
The orcs do not know.
Okay, he must not be aware of the great evil that lurks beneath Moria. Like, seriously? He's never heard of the Balrog? How's that possible? Are they neighbors, at least? Or he would not play such dangerous games. His orcs are no match for what lies beneath the roots of these mountains. Okay, right. Or perhaps Gorothul, this sorcerer from Dol Guldur, has prepared honeyed lies in the ear of Azog's spawn. He may believe his orcs have the upper hand, but they do not. He, Azog, not Gorothul. Okay, all right. Okay, what do I want? There's a brilliant cloak. Okay. Yeah, let's do that. Oh, and there's a feather. Okay. Yeah, let's look at the cloak.
We must keep our foes from Gwathrindoth, or all is lost.
The nameless creatures in the depths of the earth are not to be trifled with, But still Mazog insists on attempting to enslave them. There can be no doubt that the hand of Dol Guldur is causing him to try this foolish course, but I have no pity for him. These creatures are deadly, and they approach Gwathrendath more closely with each passing hour, and still Magor does not return. It's not like him to be so tardy. Were he not so strong, I would be worried, but Magor is trained with Celeborn in the Elder Days and can take care of himself. Okay, trained with Celeborn in the Elder Days. So he's, Nandor then, right? Okay, right, like most of the Galathrim. There are cracks in the walls not far from Gwathrendath. Place these barrels in front of the cracks to dissuade the Nameless from approaching the cracks. Okay, so this is like home defense is what we're going to do. Okay. All right. Okay. I think, let me look. Yeah, I need to end there. Sorry, I need to end a little bit early today, but I'll be back again soon. I might even, who knows, get a chance to do a little Grifflet streaming in the Great River and Rohan here in the next week or so. So we'll see what happens. But thanks for joining me today, and I look forward to seeing you back with Grifflet again next week. And as I said, maybe sometime in the interim as well. Thanks again, by the way, for everyone who supported our fundraiser. We have officially raised, we surpassed our $10,000 goal, our $10,000 stretch goal for our LOTRO appeal, and so we're definitely going to do the whole Road to Erebor quest sequence, so I'm really excited about that. Thank you for all of your help and all of your support. Our total fundraising for the entire Signum fundraising campaign, we've raised over $44,000 so far. So it's just a wonderful blessing to Signum, and will help to keep our programs running strong for another year. So thank you guys so much. And more details forthcoming soon on. So I still owe you. We did the Rift and we did the Wigan Marathon. I still owe you Phil Gashan. Griffith's going to do Phil Gashan when he gets to level 58. He's not there yet. Working there though. We need to do Phil Gashan, and we need to do the road to Erebor. And I haven't decided whether I'm going to do Grifflet or Wigan on the road to Erebor yet. But we'll see. So thanks very much, everybody, for joining me, and I will see you guys next week at the latest. Bye now.